So, you're thinking about selling on Walmart Marketplace. That is a huge opportunity, for sure. But there's this one big hurdle right at the start, just getting approved. Walmart's process is, let's be honest, notoriously strict. But that's exactly why we're here. Okay, let's dive into this explainer and really crack the code on how to get your application approved, and fast. And when I say strict, I am not kidding. Get this. Fewer than 10% of first-time applications get approved on the first try. That number is just wild, right? And you know why? It's almost always because of small, totally avoidable mistakes. The stakes are incredibly high here. This isn't just about getting a simple no. A single typo, one mismatched document, and your entire launch can be delayed by weeks. It just kills your momentum and forces you to go all the way back to square one. The key takeaway here is you really have to get it right the first time. So why is it so tough? Why all the hoops to jump through? Well, it's not to make your life harder, I promise. It all comes down to trust. Walmart has built its entire brand on reliability, and they have to extend that same promise to their online marketplace. They need to know, without a doubt, that every single seller on their platform is the real deal. It really just boils down to these three things. They're asking, are you a legitimate registered business? Can we trust you to actually ship your products on time? And are your products high quality and, authentic? See, it's all about protecting their customer and that customer's experience. So how do they do all that verifying? Well, they have a really clear framework. They evaluate every single application against 5 core checks. These 5 things are basically the foundation for whether you get in or not. And here they are. What Walmart is essentially asking is, first, is your business legally registered? Check. Second, are your products authentic with real verified barcodes? Third, how are you going to handle shipping? Fourth, can you provide good customer support? And finally, do you have a proven track record somewhere else? Every single part of your application is designed to answer these 5 questions. Now, okay, this is the really interesting part. This is kind of an insider secret. The Marketplace Trust Score. This is an internal score that Walmart gives you. The stronger your application is across those 5 checks we just saw, the higher your score. And here's the kicker. A high score doesn't just get you approved. It gets you approved faster. That's the real game you're playing. Okay, so knowing the rules of the game is one thing, but how do you actually win? This right here, this is your fast-track checklist. These are the most powerful things you can do to boost that trust score and just sail right through the approval process. Let's start with the absolute 100% non-negotiable. This is where so many applications fail right out of the gate. Walmart only accepts legally registered U.S. business entities. So if you're a sole proprietor or you're not officially registered, your application is going to be rejected. Period. End of story. This chart breaks down the other heavy hitters. First off, your EIN and W-9 details have to match what the IRS has on file. Exactly. No typos. Next, your product UPCs. They have to be official GS1 verified codes. That means they come from the real global system for barcodes, not some cheap reseller site you found online. And finally, telling them you plan to use Walmart Fulfillment Services, or WFS, is a massive trust signal for them. If you can nail these 4 things, you are way ahead of the competition. And if you do get everything right, here's what you can pretty much expect. The application itself, super quick, like 15 minutes. But the real work is happening behind the scenes. The business verification takes about 3 to 5 days, and then there's a final review that's another 2 to 3 days. So all in all, you're looking at about 5 to 10 business days for a nice, smooth approval. Okay, so now let's flip the script and look at the common traps. Honestly, understanding why other people fail is one of the best ways to make sure you succeed. These are the red flags that get applications shut down almost instantly. We've already touched on a few of these, but just look at how simple they are. Inconsistent info, bad UPCs, no clear shipping plan, being a sole proprietor, or trying to sell in a restricted category from day one. These aren't super complex problems, are they? They're just basic preparation mistakes. And here is the perfect, dead simple example of what we mean by inconsistent information. Their automated systems check these details. If your registered business name is My Awesome Shop LLC, but the bank account you submit is in your personal name, John Doe, that's an immediate red flag. A computer sees that mismatch, and it's a likely rejection. Everything has to line up perfectly.
Look, I get it. This process is detailed and the cost of getting it wrong is pretty high. And while you can absolutely navigate it yourself using the tips we've covered, some sellers just prefer a faster, more certain path, and that's getting expert help.
So it really just comes down to this. How much is your time and your business momentum worth to you? For some people, the answer leads them to find a guide to make sure every single little detail is right the first time around. And that's where a specialist agency can really make all the difference. For instance, a firm like StarterX, they live and breathe the Walmart marketplace. They've been through this exact approval process for tons of other sellers, so they know exactly what works based on real-world experience. A good expert agency basically handles all the little things that cause most applications to fail. They'll make sure your documents are perfectly aligned, they'll help you prepare a compliant product catalog with valid UPCs, and they'll set up a fulfillment plan that Walmart already trusts. Essentially, they're like your compliance check before you ever hit that submit button. So whether you decide to meticulously prepare the whole application yourself or work with an expert, the main lesson here is exactly the same. Preparation is everything. Getting it right up front isn't just about getting approved, it's about starting your Walmart journey with the kind of momentum you really need to succeed.